Did you know in DBD, Dracula's Hellfire attack is essentially a modern-day interpretation of all the classic fire attacks he did on the NES games, and a lot of the others as well. My name is Progressive Lotus. I have over 9,000 hours in Dead by Daylight, and have recently turned into a Castlevania enjoyer. Yeah, take my flaccid whip. Take it all. Get flaccid whipped. Today, we're gonna go over every single add-on that Dracula has, all the way from the commons up to the iridescents. So sit back and enjoy this wealth of knowledge that took me forever, because this video took a bit. And if you enjoy it, you can hit that like button. That'd be cool. Possibly subscribe. The Ruby Circlet is from Symphony of the Night, released on the PlayStation 1 in 1997. The description of the add-on says, an enchanted headpiece that brings even the mightiest of flames to heal. When Alucard wears this in-game, any fire attack will now heal him.
You have any matches? Try setting it on fire.
I just want to say, I have never seen someone wear a circlet in real life, and when I think about it, I think about elves. I don't know why, but I do. The Traveler's Hat is another wearable item in a ton of Castlevania games, with each variation changing stats like defense and intelligence. In a lot of the games, intelligence determines how powerful your sub-weapons and magic will be. So let's look at this damn thing. It's got a feather in it. The Clock Tower gear comes from a reoccurring area in almost every single Castlevania game. We're playing mother Castlevania now. We're in a clock tower. And a lot of times, these areas are very frustrating and cause me to scream. The Cerberus Talon add-on says,
a sharp memento from one of Dracula's most terrifying guards.
The Cerberus is a reoccurring boss in the Castlevania series, and as you can see, it's a big-ass three-headed dog. The first introduction to Cerberus is in Dracula X, released on the Super Nintendo in 1995, with the last canon appearance in the series being in Circle of Moon, released in 2001. There's a puzzle in Order of Elysia that stands between Shinoa and Dracula, which is fitting considering in Greek mythology, Cerberus is the guard of the gates of Hades. I'm gonna assume the Cerberus is dead in DBD's canon, because Drax just walking around with one of its fingernails in his pocket. The wing boots increase the running speed of the protagonist in both Portrait of Ruin and Order of Elysia. They're similar to the winged sandals that Hermes wore in Greek mythology.
Go! Go!
Gone, babe.
Add-on, the Moonstone Necklace.
A simple necklace by day, but its power comes to life in the dark.
This add-on can be found in Symphony of the Night and Order of Elysia. It is a gemstone that improves status effects as long as the endgame time is between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. It's an add-on I'm personally excited to use because I like teeny tiny terror radius builds.
And all of a sudden, this is a magic ticket.
While this ticket may not be able to teleport you into the movies, starting with Symphony of the Night, this ticket would allow you to be able to teleport back to the shopkeeper anywhere in the map. Which, you know, these maps get pretty damn big. I like it. Now, we know Dracula is a bloodsucker, but he's a fancy bloodsucker, so he keeps his blood in a goblet. It's featured heavily in the Mori, and also is a part of the iconic opening of Symphony of the Night.
You're nothing but a blight on mankind. Ha! Mankind, a cesspit of hatred and lies. Fight for them and die for their sins.
The White Wolf Medallion is from Lords of the Shadows 2, released in 2014. This game is actually a part of a rebooted timeline for the Castlevania franchise. In the game, the medallion allows Dracula to call the White Wolf to guide him between the past and the modern-day world. Fun fact, this is also the last mainline Castlevania game.
It's been 84 years.
They got way too far away from what made Castlevania, and it kind of just seemed like a really bad God of War, in my opinion. The Silfeather can be found in Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, released on the Game Boy Advance in 2002. It allows Juice Belmont to be able to double jump, which is fitting since the description of the add-on says, an enchanted feather that grants the holder great agility. You can get this item after defeating the Skull Knight, whose first appearance in the series was the boss of the first level in Castlevania 3. I'm not even going to explain this add-on. Just watch this.
Sunglasses? Yo, can I put cool sunglasses on Alucard? Yo, cool looking sunglasses, let's go! Do they do anything? They reduce my intelligence though! The sacrifice you take for looking cool.
Finally, another add-on that takes place during the old games. This is actually a sub-weapon in the original Castlevania. You can use it to freeze enemies. I am a god! With a stopwatch. In Castlevania 3, the pocket watch is the only sub-weapon that all 4 party members can use, and is the only sub-weapon that Alucard can equip.
One of Dracula's minions, and a reminder that all are his playthings.
If there's one thing that goes together, it's creepy dolls and horror. Alucard first meets these hellspawns when he goes into the castle in, surprise, surprise, Symphony of the Night. And if you think they're bad, oh buddy, I got something to tell you. If you're not aware by now, Alucard can turn into a bat just like his father. He was actually able to do it in Castlevania 3, which saved my ass, because some of those platform sections are very hard. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but bats have radar, which allow them to see things when the clear conditions are not quite as clear. For example, whenever you're going through an entire room full of spikes in the dark, must be a Twinkie on the other side of that cave with a glass of milk.
A mighty tool of destruction taken from one of Dracula's most dangerous allies.
The wargs were originally a part of Norse mythology, and also used in J.R.R. Tolkien's books. And there are a lot of influences from that man in Castlevania. The wargs are normally the first enemy you run into when you get to the gates of Dracula's castle. Lapis lazuli, a stone said to bring luck to its holders or take it from their enemies. In Castlevania, this is an item that increases your luck stat. Luck can have an effect on how likely you are to strike a critical attack and how likely an enemy is to drop an item. And I think this is the perfect name for this add-on, because whenever you're in bat form and you teleport to that window, you will block it kind of like a mini bamboozle, and that definitely is taking away some luck from the other people and gonna lead to some major critical damage. Oh, sir.
You're from the village. What do you know of Medusa?
A snake-like memento from one of Dracula's most ancient and fearsome minions. And this is the damn truth. I hate these things. They are the bane of any Castlevania player. And the reason being is because they always show up whenever you're near a pit to knock you back into the son of a bitch and you die. Wow. 2 deaths back to back. Now, if you're not aware, Medusa is actually a creature from Greek mythology.
Perseus intended to avoid the Gorgon's petrifying gaze by looking only at her reflection in his golden shield. And with one mighty sweep, that's what most people believe.
And just like a lot of the other Greek mythology creatures are widely used in horror and fantasy. So Medusas Hair, just like the last add-on, works every time you teleport to a window with a bat. Any survivor near you gets hindered. I think it is very fitting considering in Greek mythology, turns people into stone. Now, normally in Castlevania, if you want items, all you have to do is hit some candles and they'll drop. But anyways, thank you for rating. I appreciate it. Congratulations on a... Old Nintendo games is so... You just breathe and you die, and you live and you die, and you die and you die. As you just saw, I was using Alucard in Castlevania 3 to get items, but for some reason, in Symphony of the Night, he has to get the Cube of Zoe, otherwise nothing happens. I looked really hard trying to look for an answer of why this is, but couldn't find it. If you know, leave a comment down below. And if you don't know, leave a comment down below. I need help! Now, I know us DBD players are used to a different cube, and just how it creates something out of nothing for Alucard, it does the same for Dracula when you use this add-on. This is the one that creates pillars of fire every time a generator's done. There's another one right here. Oh my god, finally another add-on that's older than the PlayStation. A unique relic belonging to Dracula. It is said that none can approach the Dark Lord without it. This is an item you need in 3 different Castlevania games to complete your quests and get to Dracula. Its first appearance was in Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest on the Nintendo, released in 1988. And here's a fun fact. You have to collect all these different body parts to bring back Dracula so that you can break the curse that he laid on Simon. And every single one of them has some sort of interaction with the environment. Except for this one. It don't do a damn thing. It's also not a body part. I'm confused. And on a more personal note, this is the game I played the most as a child. Why? I must hate myself. And last but certainly not least, Alucard's Shield, a family heirloom that blocks its bearer's enemies at every turn. And this might actually be the coolest add-on I've ever seen from Dead by Daylight. which is from, and say it with me, Symphony of the Night. Well, that's it. We're done. Get out of here. Actually, wait, before you leave, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like Dead by Daylight content, I have 9,000 hours in DBD. I'm not trying to flex because I don't have a life, but I don't have a life.